Yeah, and we have our first guest of our little 2-hour special. We'd like to welcome Tony Casillas to the show, former American football defensive tackle in the NFL. How's it going, man? Can you hear us over there?
Yes, I can. What's up, guys? How are you? How's Radio Row?
Hey, Radio Row is pretty special. There's probably over 300 people here. Everything's going well. We got the stream up and going, and it's an incredible energy out here. Let me lead you off with the question, though. We're here with the Tackle Obesity Podcast. Just kind of tell us what brings you here today and what kind of makes this such a special initiative for you.
Well, first of all, it's the name of the program is Huddle Up Against Obesity, and why I'm part of this program is that as a former player, it's all about life after football. And when you talk about obesity, it's a medical disease. It's not a character flaw. When left untreated, obesity contribute to complications like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. So, I'm a big proponent with fitness and lifestyle. And I know as a player, and not only just as a player, 40% of adults are obese. And it's just not NFL former athletes. It's the population. So I just believe in that. And it's all about being able to kind of help be a beacon and really inspire and be an accountability coach for other former NFL players, and really just continue to maintain your lifestyle. It's the whole slogan is train to maintain, life after football and your lifestyle and fitness.
Right. Thank you. So as a lineman, obviously you put your body through the ringer every single snap. So how has health become a priority for you since your playing career? How are you maintaining that?
Well, just going to the gym and realizing that I'm not 25 anymore. We're 20 or 20s. Look, as a former NFL player, everything was structured, strength and conditioning program, meetings, what you're supposed to eat. But that's just a very small part of your life. And then once you get out, I think you just see what's going on around you. And, through this program, it's helped dozens of NFL alumni directly and really help having an open conversation about this, because, losing weight it's all about the long-term health. And really for me, that's really what I want to do, is be able to maintain that. Train and maintain.
Yeah, Tony, while we have you here, I think we got to talk some football. Let me ask you real quick. You went to a couple of Super Bowls yourself, just kind of leading up to the big game. What would you say is kind of the main feel for these players, and what's kind of the vibe that you felt kind of going into Super Bowl Sunday?
There's nothing like it. There's nothing. This game cannot ever be overhyped as a player, because you really don't understand until you actually get to the venue and get to this. The NFL does a tremendous job at this. This setting the stage. Like, everywhere you look, it's just everything that is built this huge stage, larger than life. And once you get there, I always tell guys, if you get a chance to play in a Super Bowl, embrace it, breathe it in, and just absorb it as much as you can, and just live in the moment. And it's nothing, and this is nothing compared to what you're going to feel like Saturday night before the game itself. Whether you're going to be able to sleep, whether you're dreaming about being a Super Bowl MVP, whatever it may be, just when they open up those curtains and you go out on that stage, get ready to hyperventilate and just let it happen, because it's not something you just want to just like, okay, I'm going to control this. No, don't control it. Enjoy it and embrace it.
So you were part of a couple of back-to-back Super Bowls with the Cowboys. Unfortunately, the Cowboys haven't seen the Super Bowl spotlight in a while. So
I know.
Hey, tough. But this offseason, anything about the Cowboys? What do you think they should do in terms of, Mike McCarthy being a good fit there? Dak Prescott, is he the guy that should be behind center? Any thoughts on your Dallas Cowboys and how they can get back to the Super Bowl?
Play great in big games. And that's what they haven't been able to do, is play great in good games. And people ask me all the time, and you try to put your finger on something. I think Mike McCarthy, doing the different, the play calling and letting, the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, go. I think that it's all about the playmaking and maybe adding a couple of things to the roster. But I think it's all about just having consistency. And again, you got to be able to play great in big games. And they haven't been able to do that in, 28 years, a long time. Way before you guys were even born.
Yeah, I was born in 2002 for the record.
Okay, well, hey, you were thought of. Well, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking more on the player positions, I believe Jerry Jones did actually come out and say that he doesn't want to be too aggressive with the players that he's going out and getting. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think a GM has to be aggressive if he wants to see big success?
Well, I think you look at the teams that they're playing, certainly you look at the Eagles, they were really aggressive and they made some changes, added some playmakers. And I think when you go out and you sign your quarterback and you're running back and you got a lot of money, in them and locked up in them, then that's kind of hard to do things. But I think you just go out and try to find a player that's going to help you as much as he can. I think that's, to me, that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter if you have this philosophy that you're not going to do that. Hey, if there's a player available for you now and you can afford him, go out and pull the trigger. But I think, this franchise is different than unique, as you guys know. You follow the Cowboys, you follow the things that happen, and it's not conventional like some other organizations.
Right, definitely. So you signed with the Chiefs in 1994, but mentioned, I believe, that your anxiety prevented you from continuing on with that organization.
Right. Yeah.
How would you say mental health specifically ties into your overall mission?
Well, I think that this is getting back to the huddle up against obesity. You go to .org and you can learn more, and there's doctors that are trained on the issue of obesity, and don't be afraid to talk to a doctor. Get a game plan that's for you. And when it comes to obesity, there's prescription. But back to your point about the mental health and what exercise and fitness does. I don't care if you're 21 or you're 54. There's so many benefits that help you with anxiety and exercise. And I'm sure if you guys exercise, you go out for a run or whatever that may be, at the end of the day, it's like you've had whether it's class, whether it's work, I need an outlet. And this is a tremendous outlet for people it's not easy at first, but once you get into that lifestyle, you understand the benefits of it. Yes, healthy, prevention, a lot of health issues that go along with being overweight, but the cognitive part of it, to me, and people are going to say this, you're crazy for saying this, I think exercise is euphoric. And that's the point you can get to that is where you understand that and the benefits of it. You pick your health. The health doesn't pick you. I mean, you gotta take care of your body and soul. And to your point, the benefits of the cognitive release is tremendous when it comes to exercise.
All right, Tony, before we let you go, I got to ask you about the Super Bowl. Eagles, Chiefs, two best teams in the regular season. Neither team has trailed in the playoffs. So in for a treat here in the Valley. Can you give the listeners your thoughts on the Super Bowl? Do you got a prediction in there?
I got the Eagles by 7. I think that the Eagles possess from top to bottom, they check the boxes. Offensively, defensively, they're a physical team. Kansas City, we know what they can do offensively. But I just think that they have enough players on their secondary and certainly their players up front that can – and they got 70 sacks this year, their defensive front. And I think that they'll do a tremendous job of slowing things down. I love their coach and I love their quarterback. And I like the Eagles by 7. I mean, I hate to say that considering I was a Cowboy and I just couldn't stand the Eagles. But if I'm a bet man, I'm not a bet man. I think I'm going with the Eagles by 7.
Yeah, just a quick one last question. You played in the early 90s, which means you played against the Buddy Ryan defenses for the Eagles, right? What'd you think about Buddy Ryan?
Buddy Ryan was he's tremendous. He's great for the game. I think Buddy Ryan is the whole relationship that Jimmy Johnson and Buddy had. Look, we didn't like each other. We couldn't stand each other. There was no exchange of jerseys after the game. It's like, let's run like hell to get the locker room so the fans don't throw stuff at us. So that was kind of the relationship you have with Buddy Ryan. But the dude was a tremendous coach. The guys loved playing for him, and it was tremendous for the game.
Awesome, Tony. Thank you so much for joining the Tackle Obesity Podcast, man. It was a pleasure having you on. You shared some awesome stuff, and hey, we'll see what happens come Super Bowl Sunday. But I hope you have a fun time watching the Super Bowl this week.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Take care.